Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Call the Cops. My name is Officer Jamie Kadili. It is Wednesday night, which means 8 o'clock. You're probably watching this show because this is the show to watch. Anyway, thank you for watching. Big show in store. And I know I say that all the time, but I think I mean it all the time. But I mean it in particular tonight. We've got Jim Barry in the house. And if the name doesn't sound familiar, it probably should. Jim is the president of the Boston Police Gaelic Column. And we have some video, I think, of the Gaelic Column that we can show. But and there it is right there on your screen, the Gaelic Column in action. And let me just tell you something right now. If you've been to a parade, if you've been to the St. Paddy's Day parade, a graduation ceremony within the police department, if you were at the Ryder Cup golf tourney way back in 1999, which unfortunately I could not get a ticket to. But the point I'm trying to make, folks, the Boston Police Gaelic Column, if you've seen them, you remember, because they are, to say the least, impressive. And I can't say that enough. I mean, I know as a police officer working various parades, you see the Boston Police Gaelic Column come down the street, the pipes and the drums, and it's just, you know what, it's just, it's an overwhelming sense of pride that you feel when you see the individuals, the members of this band in action. I'm sorry, I can't say it enough. It's some impressive stuff. And tonight, we have the president of the Boston Police Gaelic Column, who, if we keep watching the video, he may pop up here any second. But Jim Barry is the president, and of course he's here, so we've got questions. Speak of the devil, the man in the furry hat, who you see on your screen, Jim Barry in action. But we've got some questions for Jim tonight because, you know, it's the Boston Police Gaelic Column is an impressive outfit. So without any further ado, let me introduce tonight's guest. Is it President Barry or just Jim?
Patrolman.
Patrolman Barry. I didn't even ask you what the trophy. You brought it out, so since you got it out here, what's the trophy for?
Well, this is one of the.
You can just pull it right over here, Jimmy.
One of the many trophies that we've picked up in Ireland. First one was the Patrick J. Murphy Trophy back in 1996. First time the trophy was ever won by a non-Irish band in a Cork City parade. That was 96. We took away that trophy. Following year, we went back and we won Best Entry.
Okay.
And that was 97. 3 years later, we went back and we won Best International Entry. I think this was the one that they said, you guys are winning too much. Take the big silver cup with you and please go home for a while.
Take it, and when you come back, don't play as well as you normally do. Feel free to miss a note.
But it was some proud moments in Ireland that here was a band from Boston over there slaying them with their own music.
Right. Yeah. Who the heck are these guys? I can't say it enough because it is true. I mean, when it comes to representing this department and portraying police officers in a positive light, I love the band. I mean, and I mean it when I say it. You're at a parade, and you guys come walking down the street, and you look sharp, and you sound great. What's it feel like to be a member of the Gaelic Column?
Well, I got to tell you, there's a lot of pride in it. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of work involved. I mean, you have rehearsals once a week, and then you're expected as a member and individually to be practicing at least 20 minutes a day. Yeah. So there's a full commitment to learning how to play one of these instruments, the bagpipes or the drums, for that matter. And
is one easier? My guess would be the drums would be easier.
Well, I'm the
and
drum.
No disrespect.
I'm the drum major, and I definitely would agree that the drums are a little bit easier.
I'll scratch that question, Jim.
But there's a rhythm and everything else that the drums have to be very keen on and carry, and they're in sync with the pipes. So if one's off,
it's all off.
Yeah. Well, all the bad jokes about bagpiping is from a piper that's not playing properly. And our guys take great pride in their performance and how they look and how they sound. Most importantly, how the music sounds.
Well, let's just do this. And I mean, the history, which if you go on to BostonPoliceGaelicColumn.com, which is the website, the history of the band is really intriguing stuff. Yeah. And take us back to, I guess it would be, was it 1991?
Yeah.
With the death of
Jeremiah
Hurley. And at his funeral, Commissioner Bratton at the time.
Actually, was commissioner in New York. New York
Transit. He was in New York at the time, okay.
Transit. And he brought the New York Transit Band up to perform at Jerry Hurley's funeral.
Okay.
And Jerry was a member of the bomb squad.
Yeah, bomb squad, that's right.
Tragically killed in the line of duty in Roslindale. And it was a very inspiring moment to see that band come up and pipe Jerry down.
Yeah, I mean, what was kind of the reaction after the fact? Was it, why don't we have a band like this? Or how did that?
Absolutely. It came through very strongly by really officers that are still with the band, still hold executive officer positions with the band. Sergeant Tom Sexton.
To name a few.
Yep.
Tommy Sexton.
Yep. Tom
Jim
Sexton.
Barry.
Joe Cheevers, Sergeant Joe Cheevers. Jim Cheevers. That conversation really sparked a lot of research that I had to go out into the field and locate instructors and price out instruments and price out uniforms. And got that all done and came back in April of '92 and held the first organizational meeting where we were trying to recruit.
I want to tell. So, obviously a tragic occasion. An officer killed in the line of duty, and after that, okay, New York Transit Police pipes and drums come up, and afterwards you guys are like, why don't we have our own group? You guys get together, the brainchild or the idea is hatched, and then is it April 16th of '92, or how did you guys get the word out that, hey, listen, we'd like to create our own?
I think it was fax machine mostly. It
Right.
was just faxing it out
Fax machine.
to the district stations, and guys were reading it, and maybe it was being announced at a couple of roll calls throughout the city, and that night at Doyle's Cafe in Jamaica Plain, over 200 police officers showed up in the back room.
And Davey, feel free to just play some video as we're chit-chatting, because it's impressive to see you guys doing your thing. So, Doyle's Cafe,
filled to
word
the brim.
gets out.
Filled to the brim.
You walk in, you see all these people. What's your reaction? What are you thinking to yourself?
We got a band.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. No matter.
So there was no.
Even
what do
if
you play? Do you have an experience with the bagpipes? It was just we got a band.
I figured if 150 of them dropped out, I'd still have 50
50.
of them. So there was a band.
And had anybody had any previous experience with?
One guy.
No kidding.
He played the piano.
Yeah.
One man.
That's it.
That's it.
So the only musical experience out of the whole group was a guy who played piano.
Yeah.
I played a little piano back in the day too.
Chopsticks mostly.
Yeah, chopsticks playing. Dun, 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 dun. So from there, you got the group, and like you said, you kind of you mentioned it quickly, but I mean, you got to buy instruments and uniforms and plan rehearsals and practice. So, I asked you earlier, let's say if tomorrow I decided I'd like to be a member of the band, how long would it take for somebody to get to a point where, hey, you know what, you're a member of the team and you're in a position now where you can perform?
I would say about a year for the bagpipes, and for the drums for that matter.
Okay.
But either instrument, there's a rehearsal. You perform a solo performance for the band, and then the band votes you in, or says that you have to go back and maybe put a little bit more rehearsing in.
So were you the Simon of the?
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, that's god-awful, son, please.
Well, no, believe me, I wasn't. It started off with the instructors, because none of us really knew what we were doing.
Right.
So it was the instructor's word whether you were in or not.
So a guy starts, like,